Tonight, the people of Newcastle are in shock. At 10:29 this morning, an earthquake measuring 5.5 on the Richter scale rocked the steel city, killing at least 9 people and injuring more than 100. The quake had its epicentre just 5 kilometres west of Newcastle, in the city suburb of Hamilton. Its force was felt as far south as Canberra and inland as far as Orange. Residents just wandered the streets, dazed. People walking on footpaths were hit by falling debris. Others were trapped inside buildings. A local Newcastle television crew was in the middle of an interview when everything seemed to crumble around them.
Union management relations, though, how would you describe them?
Terrible.
The local workers' club has been declared a disaster area.
It just shook and everything just caved in. Poker machines going down everywhere.
Floors and walls collapsed. A crowd playing bingo would normally have been on the ground floor, but for some reason today they decided to play upstairs, a decision that probably saved their lives.
The room shook violently and the balcony started to collapse, and I ran, and as it collapsed it got me by the legs and the chest, and I was just, and then at that point it stopped. And I was lucky enough to have the strength to get myself out. But the floor of the dance floor on this western corner then started to give way. I could see it going and going. It fell through, as I found out later, fell through to the floor below, and it concertinaed down onto this floor here, which is the car park, and also the car park floor fell through into the basement. Along with it went a whole number of motor cars and people, of course.
Some are still trapped inside the building, and rescue workers fear a total collapse of what's left. People are being dragged from the ruins to be resuscitated on the footpath. There was no point in taking them to hospitals. 2 wings of the Royal Newcastle Hospital had to be evacuated earlier today because they too were shattered in the quake. Patients, many of them still attached to heart monitors and dialysis machines, were wheeled outside where staff tried to shade them from the 30-degree heat. The quake triggered several fires around the city, the worst at BHP's Mayfield Steelworks, where 2 people were severely burnt. The Prime Minister flew to Newcastle this afternoon to inspect the damage. The central business district has been completely sealed off because the streets are littered with rubble and glass. The Army has been called in to patrol the streets after reports of looting. The city, still numb with shock, now prepares for a long night ahead, bracing itself for any aftershocks, while at the same time mounting the biggest clean-up operation in its history.